Rubén, a positive point away at West Bromwich Albion. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, I think the game was very competitive. We come here with the intention of getting 3 points, but the opponent was good in the first half. We have some problems to control, especially to have possession of the ball and to apply high pressure. I think we adjusted in the second half, in the halftime. Second half, we start much better. Probably the goal came against us when we probably were in one of our best moments. But I think after that goal, the game was purely for us. We went for it. We scored the goal. We almost scored the second one, and we end up with the feeling of that we can compete against anybody, and we could get the 3 points today.
Obviously, we had a couple of chances at the end as well after our goal to win it, but West Brom also had chances. Do you think a point is fair?
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think the game was very competitive. I think for the persons, the fans watching the game, it was a good game to watch, and it's good to come and see a game like that where there's a lot of competitiveness and some situations to score.
We can already hear through your voice the tactics you had to shout throughout the game. There was a lot of fluidity with your tactics, wasn't there, today? We saw midway through the first half the wingers switch and Joseph went more centrally. Could you just talk us through your sort of thinking during the game?
Well, yeah, during the first half we were not quite getting our connections through the striker and the two wingers, so we decided to change the distribution for them. I think as soon as we changed it, we became better. Because we have players that can play different positions and can give something different in different positions, and that was the main thing in the first half, and the adjustment in the half time, especially with the sixes trying to get them a little bit higher and the team a little bit higher under pressure. Then during the second half, obviously we went into more into a 4-3-3 shape, where Casey and Lincoln stepping on the pitch, and Abu came as a winger. And that was mainly those the variations that we did.
Into the second period then, we started off really well. They got the goal. Our heads again could have gone down like we said in midweek, but the reaction was perfect once again.
This team is competitive, and this team wants to compete and wants to do things. So I don't expect less from them, because they show that they can do things and the way that they can do it. So for me, it was not a surprise. We have already been doing, and I think that's the key for this team, to be able to compete under any circumstance, and then we show it one more day today. And
you praised the bench on Wednesday night. Again, the bench has to take praise for changing that game. Casey, a second assist off the bench from his Gelhardt setup midweek. His impact was good. Kamara added width, as you said, and also Lincoln came on and made a positive impact. How pleased were you then?
I think we have a good squad. I think players that want to make the difference, and I think everyone is just giving absolutely everything they have for the team. Sometimes that is starting the game, sometimes just supporting and coming into the game from the bench, and that's the kind of culture that we want to build, and that's the kind of environment that we want to create with our team. I think it's capital that everyone has that kind of mindset just to go for it.
Focusing on Kamara as well, the confidence seems to be brimming out of him in recent weeks. Got a couple of goals to his name as well, and was in the right area. Could have got another second as well, and he said he was disappointed as he was coming off. But what's his attitude been like under yourself?
I think Abu has been exceptional. I think today it was more a matter of we needed something to change the dynamic of the game in the second half, and he was not fully recovered from the game on Wednesday. And I think Abu has been giving absolutely everything for this football club, and have been producing in terms of offensive output as much as he can produce. He's still a lot more to continue growing. Also defensively wise, he made a difference supporting Coley in those last 20-30 minutes. It is good to have a young boy just growing up as he's doing.
8 points from our last 4 games going into the international break. How do you assess that period of matches?
I assess the period as good performances almost in every game. Games are difficult in the category, everyone can beat everyone, but we have been performing as and being competitive in every game, and that's the line that we need to continue if we want to end up in the season in a good place.
Obviously thinking about Luton in 2 weeks' time, but we've got an international break as mentioned before that. What work will you do with the lads during that week?
Well, we will need some time off with them, and then after that we'll prepare the game against Luton.
And finally, the fans really got behind us once again, and we'll go home happy once more. What were your thoughts on them, and what sort of message will you give them ahead of the final run-in that we've got when we come back?
Well, I think we need them. We need them for absolutely everything we do. It's a big pleasure that when we can perform like today, and then they are always behind us. I think we need that final part of the season to create that connection with them and to make the things really difficult for the opponents and to create that environment where it's a good football environment when they are supporting their team. So hopefully they will support us they did today as they have been doing in my time here, and we can do great things together.